What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for episode 20 of Tigers Franchise, and I did an oopsie. Last episode, we went through our tough playoff loss, and I said the next episode would be an off-season setup. Well, the oopsie comes in that I went a bit further than a setup. I was getting into it, and I kind of just got in a groove, started making moves. I look up, and I'm like, oh, it's January 1st. So I've got a lot of catching up to do for y'all. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to be looking over here to my right a bunch for my checklist. I wish I could leave it on top. With Word, I don't know if you can do that, where even if I click off of it, it stays like in this corner. So then I would have it on this screen with OOTP, but alas, I don't have that. So first things first, our budget was 140 mil, which I believe is about 15 million more than we had last year. And we currently have some of that left, 17 million right now. So we're not in a bad spot here on January 1st. Then our number one thing we got to get into is personnel. Now, I did talk about in a couple different episodes, I highlighted how we've got a lot of personnel turnover coming. We're going to have to sign a bunch of folks, kind of figure out what we want to do. And the one opportunity that there was for this year was to turn it over, was to make a lot of moves. That was at least in the cards because we had so many personnel coming up. Base coaches, pitching coaches, coaches and managers at other levels. We really could turn things over if we wanted to. But some of the guys that we have, we're definitely trying to keep. That they've been part of the organization that we signed that are in the minors, and this is just their first contract coming up. We want to keep them around. So those were some easy signings. But it was that major league setup that really offered a lot, and I really got into it. This was when I was just getting going and kind of starting everything. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a setup episode, and it ended up being the thing. And it was because of this personnel. I was really getting into it. I had 2 different spreadsheets open with the candidates and their personalities. What's going to clash there, what their skills were, I don't mean 2 different spreadsheets. I mean, I had 2 tabs on a spreadsheet. Sorry. Doesn't really matter, but I just wanted to clarify. But I had it all. I had it all kind of laid out. Here's what we want to do. We got to bring in this guy. If we bring in this guy, is he going to hate him? What are the relationships with our players? Really got into that because we made a lot of moves, folks. Let's get into it. Gone. AJ Hinch, manager. Michael Burner. I'm sure it's something like Bernard, but if you don't have an extra vowel in there, if your last name is spelled BRDAR, then I'm going Burner. And I'm gonna just shove the BRD together there, and you got the 1 vowel. Why even go with the 1 vowel? Why not just go BRDR at that point? I'd respect it more. You're fired. Hitting coach, gone. Chris Fetter, pitching coach, gone. George Lombard, bench coach, gone. And then a bevy of minor league coaches were due up for their contract and retired. We lost a few to retirement. So what was already setting up to be such a big offseason with personnel got bigger when 3 different guys retired. So we did the big shakeup. I said, why not? I want to change a lot of things here. I want to get some better relationships to our managers and coaches with our star players. Bo and Nick Jackson, first and third base coaches, retained. It would have fit better if I had said it with everything else because I'd have named them, and then you would have thought I was going to say gone. But I have it on a separate, they got their own bullet point, and so I should have put it in there for dramatic effect. It would have been better. But anyway, they stuck around. Everything else got replaced at the major league level. Let's get into what we got because we made big moves. Our manager is Garrett Bullock. Unproven guy, just 39 years old. But he's personable, works well with easygoing, struggles with controlling. He's a conventional manager style, but I'm looking at the skills more than anything else. And the green dots here on the right, and they're all green. So there's no control. He's not trying to take over anything. We're good. By the way, One of the big things that got AJ Hinch fired is that we couldn't hire a hitting coach. And I didn't care for that. And, he wasn't a great fit anyway with our players. He didn't have the best relationships with them. So it wasn't just that, but that was the impetus to even start looking at him because his contract wasn't up. We're paying him an extra year to get gone. Anyway, back to Bullock. Triple excellent. Well, triple X action with the development mechanics and aging. We love that. I don't believe that the teaching of the defense and everything, that's not going to matter because he's not in a role for that, but it's there. It's there with the teach catching, infield defense, outfield defense, and running. But again, like I said, I think it really is only the guy who's in that staff role. We're looking at good relationships with the staff, hopefully, based on being personable, working well with easygoing. Triple X development mechanics aging, and all the green dots here. Just a solid pickup. Then you go over to the relationships. He gets a good because nobody's outside of fair, and there's only 5 guys over there. It's some pitchers. Like, he doesn't seem to get along as well with pitchers. Most of them are in the average or the fair tier. But then you go to the excellent relationship, and there are some pitchers there. But you got Spencer Torkelson, Willie Adames, Sergio Mendoza, Riley Green, Jace Young is in the good. Shosei Watanabe is as well. Even somebody like Javier Baez, and he's excellent at handling aging. Could we squeeze out, a random another 2-win season like 2024? I doubt it, but it's a little extra there. And if you aren't second screening and you are paying attention to the screen, then you might have seen some names there. There's no way not to give spoilers when you go up to January 1st and then you try to navigate things. But I purposely skipped some names there that I'm going to get to when we get into other things. Then we go to our hitting coach, Joey DeMonte. He's a guy I've had in different sims. He's not like an automatic go-to like Rick Jameson, but he's in my short list of guys that I will consistently get situated as our hitting coach. Legendary at teaching hitting. Outstanding, excellent, good on development mechanics, aging, personable, works well with normal, does struggle with easygoing, but I don't think that's going to be a big problem for us. Relationships, strong. The only hitter that he has under good is Dylan Dingler, which is a little bummer because it would be nice if he could tap into some extra with Dylan Dingler. And by the way, this doesn't mean that he can't, so I shouldn't have framed it like that. We'd have a better chance of him tapping into something nice with Dylan Dingler if it was an excellent or a good relationship. It only being average enlarges the odds of that happening. But as far as his excellence, you got Torque, Jace Young, Watanabe, Willie Adames, Akil Baddoo, Sergio Mendoza, Riley Green, some newcomers. So that's a good setup there. Joey DeMonte, that's who I had to have. And when I realized I couldn't hire him without letting Hinch have a say, it was done. It was done. Pitching coach, we got Eric Bates, an unproven guy, personable, works well with normal, struggles with temperamental. I don't usually bring in temperamental guys, so that's good. He's excellent at teaching pitching, outstanding, good on the big 3. And then his relationships are all average or better, and there's only 4 pitchers in the average column. So that's fine. It is weird that it's Aaron Ashby, Brant Herter, Franklin DeCosta as 3 of the 4 because they're all lefties. Does he have a bias against lefties? Eric Bates, tell us. But anyway, happy to have him on. And then our bench coach, Alex Rodriguez. That's right. The very same. He's personable, works well with temperamental. Now, this is the most OOTP thing ever. Like they couldn't have gotten this more right. They've never been more correct. Alex Rodriguez struggles with normal. And that's a perfect sum up of A-Rod. He struggles with normal. Normal what, you say? Fill in the blank. If it's normal, he struggles with it. Describing normal run leads to have, struggles with it. Not being kind of weird on television, struggles with it. Not blowing his relationship with J-Lo, struggled with it. Not taking roids, obviously struggled with it quite a bit. So yeah, he does struggle with normal. That's very clear. But excellent, good, outstanding on the big 3. development mechanics, aging. Legendary at teaching infield defense. That checks out. Excellent at outfield defense if we needed him. And frankly, I think we got the Jacksons holding it down. Because, yeah, Bo teaches infield legendarily as well. So there's no real reason. I don't think we can get an extra legendary. I was fine not focusing on that. Bo handles catching and infield as legendary teacher, and then Nick Jackson handles the outfield and the running at outstanding. I could have maybe finagled to get somebody who could turn these into legendary. Nah, that's fine. That's not what I was prioritizing. A-Rod gets along with everybody pretty well. Has a handful of guys under the average relationship, but not too bad. I also made a big move that I don't think I put on here. Maybe I did this previously. Everything's jumbling together because I ended up recording quite a bit of stuff in quick succession. I finally built up a back catalog that I've been trying to go for quite some time, but I finally just dove in and did it. I forgot when I hired Glenn O'Donnell, though, but he's our new scouting director. I think I've covered this on an episode, but there it is anyway. Just more new personnel. Now, the scouting director, even though he has 6 that he struggles with here with all these personables, he's not in the mix as much, so I don't think that has as much of an effect on staff cohesion. It doesn't say it anywhere explicitly, but I've found that if your assistant GM, scouting director, and maybe the trainer, honestly, just the GM and director, I know for sure, if they don't mess with the people on the field, it doesn't really mess with the staff cohesion all that much. So they hate our staff pretty much. And we'll see. If it does hamper things, then we'll make changes there, because Scott Harris has the same thing with 5 personables that he doesn't like, even though he himself is personable. So don't be a goof. But anyway, personnel overhaul. Had to do it. And I'm not going to go through all the minor league coaches, but they got tightened up. Oh, actually, I have a few things. Hang on. I do have some notes on that. Pardon me. I wasn't sure if I had taken the notes down. So I already talked about... Oh, wait, no. These notes are just on our major league guys. Garrett Bullitt, A-Rod, DeMonte Bates. Nick Green, AA pitching coach. Mike Durant, A-ball manager. Hector Delgadillo, A pitching coach. Jason Bell, rookie pitching coach. Oh, I did have one note on that. We lost a guy called Ricky Trilasek. And he would have been cool to get, but we're asking him to be our rookie league pitching coach. And he went to go be the Nats manager. So, like, I can't really get bent out of shape on that, right? That'd be kind of whack. But, I mean, you can see why I would want him. Even though he's controlling, outstanding development mechanics, good at aging, excellent teaching pitching, just wanted him in the org. But he's getting a big job, so good for him on that. I couldn't really compete. And I was pumping up the money because I really wanted him. But, of course, like, it would have almost been stupid. I could have never known that he was going after the Nats job, but if I had offered him enough, that he would have actually passed up the Nats job, because I probably got close. I don't know if I ever passed 450, but let's just say I offer like 550, and he's like, no, I'll take it. That would have been insane. You get a major league job, you take that no matter what. And then we have Braxton Whitehead as the DSL 1 hitting coach, and Sam Honek as the DSL 2 manager. So there you go. All right, contracts, arbitration, and all of that. Tried to extend Riley Green for arbitration plus 2 free agent years to no avail. That did not work. We non-tendered Edwin Uceta at 1.5 mil. He's broken. And Matt Vierling at 2.4. And that's not like expensive, but why? Right? Like, why spend what was I saying? 2.4 mil. I thought I said 2.6. Yeah, why spend 2.4 mil on this profile? Like, no offense to Matt Vierling. It's not worth it. We can get a league min guy who can do that. And that's like one thing that, you see a low number. Sometimes you're like, oh, I can do that. That's fine. But by the way, he already wants less, 1.7 mil. But be careful. If you're new to base game sims, be careful with guys like this. 29 mil, making 2, 3, 4 mil. Like, even if he had been better, and honestly, it would have been an easier decision. If he had been better recently, let's say he would have been like a 115 WRC plus this past year for 247 plate appearances. He probably would have cost more. It would have been an easier decision to not bring him back. But don't get hung up on those little deals being like, well, I need players to fill in. Let me just get this 2.4 here, 2.4 there, especially if you're balling on a budget. Probably obvious to most of y'all, so I'm not trying to patronize with an easy tip or whatever, but I found myself kind of getting bogged down with a handful of those guys sometimes, and it'll eat up your money slowly. I'm thinking more of like the 3 to 5 mil types than 2.4 with Veerling, but I'm using him as the jump off point to discuss that overarching point. Anywhere in that $2 to like $6 million range, make sure they're really worth it. Are you paying for the past performance and they're not really going to do it again, and they're just eating up a few bucks that you can probably replicate with a league minimum rookie? Or can they improve? Are they really helping the team, et cetera, et cetera? Just make sure you're diligent about those and you're not just paying them because, hey, they're cheap. Alex Bregman's qualifying offer was $21.2 million. His extension offer was 6 years, 2 of them at 20 mil and then 4 at 18. And I declined it. I thought that was, I was worried that on the surface that might look like a good enough number where, oh, he's not going to take it. He's trying to get that 6-year deal. But because none of the years were over 21 mil, I thought there was a world where he's like, well, I'll just take this and then go for free agency next year after making 21 guaranteed this year. Too risky. Couldn't do it. Also DFA'd Bo Brisky and Kervin Castro to get some 40-man spots. So that was arbitration and some early contracts before the award season and everything. Unfortunately, award season was really nothing to write home about. Elpidio Perez lost out reliever of the year to Sam Hentges, and I don't really have an issue with that as far as like what Hentges did. Let me pull that up. For the Texas Rangers, yeah, he was a monster. 151 ERA, 122 whip. Whip's a little high because he walked a few guys, but like I'm fine kind of going off ERA for a reliever of the year, right? Like who put up the gaudiest ERA for 60 plus innings? I'm okay with it. Like, even though ERA can be a little bit of a luck stat when you're talking about the reliever of the year, everything's small sample and volatile. It doesn't mean you're predicting them to be the best reliever next year. He also had 42 saves, which I know helps. 39 shutdowns. What did Perez have? Perez. 28. So yeah, I'm totally fine with it. But 103 innings of a 289 ERA, 103 whip is very good. And it is damn near 40 more innings than Sam Hentges. Anyway, no gold gloves, no platinum sticks. Jace Young lost out rookie of the year to Colson Montgomery, which I don't think I had a problem with. He played for the White Sox, put up 5 WAR. I mean, he played all year, right? Like, Jace Young would have to be so good, like so outsized, such an outsized performance in his sample, which he was excellent. Don't get me wrong. He put up 4 WAR in 440 plate appearances. But he basically, I mean, I got to give it to the guy that plays 600 plate appearances. You put up a full season. That's really big for me in the Rookie of the Year vote. Because getting hot for a small sample, we see it so often, and guys come back to earth as they play a full season. So, if you only put up 2 months. Now, sometimes there's outsized samples. There's outliers, I should say, where a guy is just so electric for like 3 months and he beats the guy that put up 5 months of mediocrity or whatever. But anyway, this was not a bad loss for us. Colson Montgomery was awesome, and I have no problem with Jace Young losing to him. Jace Young had a brilliant rookie season, though, so that's incredible. And then Colt Keith won the Rookie of the Year in the NL, of course. Put up 4 WAR, 139 WRC plus, 21 homers, and led the league with a 323 average. But again, like I said, it might be copium, but he's just Jace Young. And so what did we really lose? If we keep Colt Keith, we don't get Jace Young's season. So it's 6-1, half dozen the other. I'm not worried about it. I wish Colt Keith the best over there in Washington. Now, let's get into some moves. We got some trades, got some free agents, or a free agent. But I will say, like I said, I was getting deeper into this, and it ended up being like quite a long session of getting things done. And that's why we ended up on January 1st here instead of doing like a preview up. But I really wasn't wanting to make like a huge splash. So a little bit of a spoiler alert there. Like I wasn't trying to like turn the team upside down. I still just want to kind of keep building onto this. So we made some moves. First deal, I was looking to trade Zach McKinstry. I just wasn't sure that he was... Oh, I can't spell. Is it Zach with an H? Oh, it is Zach. Who knew? Anyway, I was looking to trade Zach McKinstry. $5 million. Now, this is a guy who has good ratings. You could pay $4.8 million to this guy, and I don't think you're making a mistake there. But he is a little bit in that window of what I was just talking about with Matt Vierling, and a better example because he's 4.8. Is that really the best use of our $5 million? He's 30 years old. He plays a bunch of positions, but really only plays well at second and first. I don't care about his bunting standout skill. Like, it's a solid profile, 55, 60, 50, 55, 45. You know, contact heavy, hit the gaps, decent eye. But he hasn't been good the last 2 years. And at age 30, like, trade him now at not the peak of his value, but a decent value still, as opposed to kind of riding it out. And he doesn't have to do that much to be worth $5 million, but can we get something better? And I thought we could. So I offered him up, and there was a standout offer. It was a lot of veterans, players making similar amounts to him, decent players, but like, I'm just doing the same thing. Until Oakland offered up a prospect. You've heard the name before, but it's a different guy named Max Muncy. They offered up Max Muncy, and I jumped at this opportunity. Bottom line, 7 years younger. I don't really need to say anything else to justify it for me. He's not as good as McKinstry right now, but he's 7 years younger, high leader in work ethic, solid defense, decent base running profile, has some pop and eye, needs to work on the contact, and, strike out and avoid K are a problem. But at 23, I feel like he could build. And so this was a slam dunk, no-brainer to me. So we scooped this deal. I thanked Oakland and moved on. Then I followed up on something I had mentioned, I think, during the playoffs. But at some point, I'd come across this player, and I was like, you know what? I want Evan Carter. So guess what, y'all? I went out and got Evan Carter. And we ended up trading Nate Pearson and Dylan Smith for him. So Nate Pearson, there's another one, like, again, on the lower end, only 1.8 mil. Could he earn that pretty easily? Or even if he flopped, is it killing us? No, but just to kind of underscore this point yet again, it's like, is this the best use of 1.8 mil? Or flipping him into a deal that I like, does that make more sense? And then we find another, especially with relievers, then we find another reliever that we can turn around and build the next great guy off the waiver wire or the Rule 5 draft or wherever, throw in of a trade. I mean, we had gotten Pearson off waivers. So flipping him felt like a really good move here. Had to throw in Dylan Smith too. It wasn't just a 1-for-1. And Dylan Smith, decent prospect, but out another 7 months when we traded him, now 6 months with a torn flexor, 45, 50, 55 stamps, so he can start, but I'm worried, right? We don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back. He is only 25, so they could build him back up even if he is injured, but I was just way too worried about that. So I felt really good about this deal to get Carter. Now, he's not Evan Carter of real-life baseball, but he's a strong defender, great base runner, and has that amazing eye. Everything else, going to have to kind of grow it, but he's 23. We got two 23-year-olds with Muncy and Carter. We're trying to get younger. We're trying to get prospects. They're not true prospects in that they have rookie eligibility, but they're prospects in that they have growth upside that we're looking to tap into and turn them into a player that's a level better than they are currently. Then you go over to our hitting coach, Joey DeMonte, and look at that. Evan Carter, excellent relationship. purposely didn't mention that earlier because I didn't want to tip my hand that I had traded for him, for those of you that are second screening, so you're not looking directly at it. So that could be great with Joey DeMonte. And then our manager, Garrett Bullock, loves him as well. Excellent relationship. So that's great. Bench coach, A-Rod, what do you think of him? A-Rod's only average with him. Evan Carter probably too normal. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that deal. Nate Pearson and Dylan Smith for Evan Carter. And then Zach McKinstry for Max Muncy. Two 23-year-olds, one in AAA, one on the big league club right now. We did turn down a deal that was offered to us, and it wasn't a bad offer. You know, it was a legit player. Sandy Alcantara was offered up to us. He's now a Baltimore Oriole. They were going to trade him come hell or high water. They came knocking on our door and said, can we have Javier Osorio? And I promptly said no. Not because Osorio is some stud, but he's 20. He's good up the middle defender. Strong third base, capable shortstop. Probably would be good at second if he trained there. With some promise in the bat. It's not great right now, but it is a eye foundation. It's already at 45 with a chance to get up to 50 with some pop. Has some swing and miss issues that he needs to tap into, or that he needs to tap into fixing, I should say. But I just thought a 20-year-old, like, it's not a bad offer. It's not a bad offer, but it's not what we want. I didn't think he was a significant upgrade over what we have for Alcantara. He's a control pitcher, which I don't mind. 70 controls, great, 60 movement, but only 50 stuff. I love the 75 stamina. Workhorse for sure. Now has 5 straight 200-plus inning seasons because he didn't get hurt in our world. And after a really tough 2023 and only a decent 2024, he bounced back with a good season. So they sold him on a high note, 3.52 ERA, 121 WHIP in 212 innings. And they were able to move him. What did they get from Baltimore? They got Luis Ramirez, who's a 50-grade prospect, solid prospect, 20 years old. Brock Wilken, a little bit more advanced at 23, has some pop and eye. Nothing, not a great player, but in the low minors right now. He played for Bowie this year, but then they sent him to rookie. Maybe they just haven't moved him yet because it's still the offseason. But yeah, kind of reaching the upper minors and has hit well in the minors. So he could become something for them. And then one other guy, Angel Tejada, who isn't too bad either. 21 years old with a solid glove. We'll see where the bat goes. It's not great, but probably can at least pick it as a backup middle infielder. So that's a good deal for them. Probably better than just Osorio straight up. So I think they improved their stock there. So then, while we did have some money, free agency was not terribly plentiful. Like, there's some good guys out there, but they're either really expensive or not that appealing, right? There wasn't much in between, except for one guy that I landed on. Now, this is a guy that's actually been on multiple teams before for me, mostly via trade, but now kind of seeing him out in the wild in free agency, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. We have a chance to kind of buy low on O'Neal Cruz at age 27? You better believe it. By the way, this also made Zach McKinstry, much easier to trade. I had the offer out. I don't believe he had signed it yet because I think I traded McKinstry a good bit ago. Yeah, it's 11/29. So I traded him before we signed Cruz, but I'm thinking, I'm going to pay more or less what it takes for Cruz because he's just not that expensive. And so I was feeling pretty good that we were going to get him, and that's why another reason that I felt confident in trading McKinstry. So we signed him to a 5-year, $15 million deal, and only 3 years guaranteed at $6 million with team options for 4 and 5. He just hasn't done anything. So he can't go out, demanding big bucks when he has 906 career plate appearances under his belt. And he's been pretty wretched in these last 281 over the course of 24 and 25, spending most of his time at AAA in the 25 season. where he was good, by the way, but, he's 26. I'm not paying him top dollar for what is now a 27-year-old AAA guy. But we think he can be more for sure. 55 contact, 50 gap, 55 home run, 50 I, 45 avoid K. Chance to improve the I. Still a solid runner. Nice defender, particularly at first and third. You don't really want him at short. Outfield can work too because he does have that cannon arm. Get him in a corner. He's certainly viable there. Won't get to everything, but will throw some guys out. Felt like a no-brainer. I was really excited about this move too. And like I said, you may have noticed him when I was looking at some of those relationships, but Garrett Bullock loves him. Excellent relationship. A-Rod, good relationship. And Joey DeMonte, our hitting coach, good relationship. So we got a chance to maybe tap into more. That could become an amazing contract. I don't think it's going to hurt us regardless of how it goes. Like it pretty much can't. And so it was a no-risk shot at maybe untapping, maybe not a superstar, but like a star quality player. Somebody who's putting up 3 to 5 WAR consistently. We could definitely see that. And, sorry to disappoint if you were looking for more, but that's it for free agency. We signed one big guy. Kyle Tucker was the big catch out there. He goes to the Mets on a big deal. They get him for $8,261. Has an opt-out after 3. He was in Seattle last year dominating. Excellent with Houston. Like he hasn't missed a beat at all. He ages brilliantly in this game. He's usually a pretty safe bet to go for. We got him in Marlins franchise. We got him with the Reds as well, I believe. I definitely go back to that well multiple times. And had him in Montreal too. What am I saying? He was a key part of Montreal. Bo Bichette was another big piece out there, but he's getting older. He goes to the Cardinals at $8,223 basically. And we can't pay that anyway. So we were never in this universe. He was a fan favorite, can still hit. Scary plate profile though, with 35 I, 50 avoid K. But the 60 homer and gap with 65 contact keeps him hitting still. And okay defense, particularly if you're playing him at second or third. I don't think you really want to mess with shortstop. And can still run. Only 27 too, so it's not like you're signing some grandpa. And then Zach Gallen goes out west, or stays out west, I guess, and heads out to the Giants. And he has done nothing but continuing to succeed with Arizona. A little off in 2024 with a 4.50 ERA, but then bounced back with a 3.50 and a 1.23 WHIP last year. Just doing his thing with Arizona. Now going to go to San Francisco, an even better park. In real life, we see them as like a pitcher's haven, not just because of their park, but because of their organizational coaching and everything. We'll see what happens with them in game. But they get Gallen for $6,140. This is a deal we maybe could have finagled because we could have come in with the lighter first year. Maybe built it up in the second year and then smoothed it out. Actually, no, I think we had more. We have 17 now. We had more than 18. We could have come in in the 20s and kind of worked it down. But again, I look at him and I'm like, 55, 50, 55. He's good. He's definitely good. Is that where we want to put 20-something mil for multiple years at age 30? I mean, is he really that much better than Wilmer Flores, who is 50, 55, 60? Or even Ronnie Enriquez. Now, where Gallen is better, let me be clear, 55 stamina. So he's a locked-in horse. And that is different than Enriquez and even Flores, who's at a 45 stamina. So they're not a one-to-one. But again, I'll pair those two, Enriquez, Flores, to try to get Gallen's production. Still getting it cheaper. Yes, I'm using 2 roster spots, but I think it's still worth it overall. That's it for the premium moves. And for me, premium is double digits per year. I guess Jordan Montgomery, I missed him. 336 going to the Angels. Ranger Suarez. Okay, some of these came in late and I forgot to update because there's Gallen. And then Ranger Suarez also going to San Francisco at 476. So 19 per. And he's like the home run god. He doesn't allow anybody to hit a home run, but he does have 45 stuff, 55 control. That could be a solid right-left combo that they got there with Gallen and Suarez. And then, oh yeah, Bregman. I should have put that one on. How did I miss that one? 4 for 63 to the Yankees. Oh, wait, did I put that on? No, okay. I thought I put it on somewhere else when I was talking about his QO. But listen, good for him getting a solid deal. 15.8 for 4 years is not that bad, even at 32, for the Yankees. Like, I think the Yankees can do this. His skills should age pretty well and keep him at least above water. Like, he put up just a solid 3-win season for us. He wasn't flashy, but he was useful and good. And that's worth 16 mil easily. I don't think it's the best way to spend 16 mil for us. I think a team like the Yankees, sure, that makes sense. They're a bigger budget. They can afford that. That's too much of a big piece for us, and we can't afford to have him kind of be meandering, because I think perhaps 2 of those 4 years could be closer to like 1.5, 2 WAR, because, he doesn't hit for power. He just gets on base and plays modest defense or something. Like the range of outcomes still has him as like a 1.5, 2 on the low end, even if he stays healthy, because he doesn't have a ton of power. Why did I come here? Oh, I was going to look at salaries. So yeah, so he would have been our 3rd highest paid player. And we just need him to be more than what I think we can comfortably expect out of Bregman at the years too. I could have done another 1-year deal, but he didn't want to do that. He wants to get his last big bite at the apple, and I get that. That's totally fine. So that brings us current here on January 1st. Our next big play will be the international free agent signings, of course. Let me see if I've done the recent scout. I think I have. Nope. Oh, wait, I have, but they unlocked them. Never mind. I can't run a practice, and they are all very high. Good. Except for Luis Morales. What's this guy's deal? Oh, wait, he's only... The very low is the league interest. Sorry, I thought that was our relationship with him. Never mind. This could actually be good. He could be a sneaky guy that we kind of swoop in on. He's a finesse guy, but heavy ground ball dude. And the league isn't too keen on him. And you know what? Maybe we swoop. Everybody else has very high league interest except for him. Maybe we swoop. All right, so we can get to that point. I don't think I have any pending offers or anything. I've worked on the minors, tightened that all up. It keeps shifting these out of order. I think if I go and do something else, like if I play perfect team and mess with things, it then carries over to the base game sometimes, and it's weird. Like when I'm here, like, during the playoffs when your standings go here directly to the playoffs, then I'll go into perfect team and I'll go to my standings and it'll be the playoff chart. Or it'll be empty if it's not a weekend when the playoff chart is up. So it like carries over where you were into the perfect team side. So anyway, let's pending offers. Yeah, nothing there. And we could maybe get some minor leaguers. We have 27 at AAA. Let's see if anybody wants to come in on a minor league free agent deal who could actually be something for us. Connor Goodwin, 23-year-old. Needs to figure out his control, but has some upside for sure. I'll take the shot. He's 23. He might not like that. Sometimes those younger guys come back and say, no, I got to get some money. I'm not bad. And you're more like, damn, you know your worth. Fair enough. And then we decide, sometimes we still sign them. I'm not saying we always just dump them. We could bring Nick Madrigal in again and make him just sit. Nick Prado at 27, big power guy, another captain. He went to play some indie ball, ripped shit up, and now he's back. I'll give you a shot in our minors. Luke Baker. Who is this? Vidas Valenicius? He's American-Lithuanian. He's got like a tinge of upside at 22. I was looking for more. The hitters are light when it comes to the minor league free agent stuff right now. So we can wait a little bit deeper too. Some guys will get desperate and really want to play, and maybe we'll get some more 40s and 45s even that want to do it. But let's go to the international free agents right now, or the Hall of Fame results first, I guess. We'll see what we're going to do with the international free agents. If we want to spread out or go big. I'm not sure right now. I'm trying to think what would be the best. I mean, I honestly, it kind of depends on the pool. I don't know why I'm pretending that I'm going to know before I see the pool. So let me chill on that. Let me just chill on that right quick. Let's see here. Oh, somebody got traded that we have some interest in. Oh, draft target. That's usually what it is. Somebody from a previous draft that I forgot to take off. So we get some random ass email and I'm like, who the hell? All right, let's see what happens with the Hall of Fame. Oh, Chris Anglin. Don't make me say it. He was angling for a 40-man spot, and we took him off the 40-man. I did add Abner Uribe, okay? So he was going to be Rule 5 eligible. Look, I took a shot. We're trying to find, capture that lightning in a bottle and kind of get lucky with some TCR. He's just a nasty arm. I've actually had him pan out in some leagues before because, super highly volatile, but when it hits, it can be nasty because all he really needs is like 5 movement, 5 control, and he's an absolute stud throwing 100 plus with 70 stuff. But he's 25, and we had some good relationships. Actually, I should make sure that those are still in order. Oh, yeah. It was with the new guys. Okay, I wasn't sure if I was like, did I do that based on the old players or the old personnel? I did not. So I didn't want to leave him to the Rule 5. I didn't think he'd get taken, but you know what? I said, let's put him on the team. Let's give him a spring with coaches, that he gets along with, and see if they can turn him into something. Looks like the manager loves him, and so does Eric Bates. So maybe they can just get a little bit out of Abner Uribe and turn him into an absolute beast. And if not, whatever. We try to run him through the minors again, DFA him, and if someone scoops him, we took our shot, That's kind of how I'm looking at it, and I think it's a worthy gamble. So he's on the 40 right now, which is indeed full as well. And we only have 2 guys under 40. CD-ROM is the other one. He's in AAA. I still think he's a little bit better than a 35, but it's not worth arguing. Who cares? Whether we see him as a 40 or a 35, who gives a crap? All right. So we'll get to the international amateur free agents. Oh, I think my girlfriend's home. I was back. Go see Jen. We're also watching a friend's dog. So the 3 of them are going to be hyped to see her. Trade proposal from Oakland. Gio Urshela for Ty Madden. I believe I didn't put it in my notes, but I was looking at maybe trading Ty Madden. He had a little juice out on the market. Push come to shove, obviously I didn't, and I don't want 34-year-old Gio Urshela for him. Okay, can we just be honest about that? Hi Bella. That's the. Oh, perfect. She looked right in the camera. That's our friend's dog that we're watching. She is the sweetest. She watch out. Let me close that for you. She loves our other dogs, and they love her. They just get along so well. It's great. Oh, everyone coming for Conrad Kaysen. He's number 25 prospect. He's our first round pick from 2024. People need to chill with that. They absolutely need to relax with that, Because, why would we trade our number 1 prospect? I do not understand in what world that makes any sense. They've been trying, though. I forgot what the other one was. That's another thing I should have taken down on my notes. There was an offer that was it was decent. Let's see what this Landon Schaefer guy looks like. Okay, he's pretty good. He's 19. Actually, this one's not too bad. But I'm I don't know. Does it make sense to trade, our 25th ranked guy for 70th ranked guy. He is younger, but aren't we just kind of pushing the cycle back? At least it's a fair offer, though. And so was the other one. Maybe I can find it. It's probably expired now. Was it Sean Gamble? Actually, no, I think it was this guy. Yeah, 19, number 75 prospect ranking. Now, I don't want to just go off of the prospect rankings and say, can't trade higher for or lower for higher, however you view it, right? Higher to me would be higher ranked, meaning closer to 1. But you could say like Sean Gamble's higher ranked because 75 is bigger than 25. But anyway, you could say you don't want to do that. But I think you got to look at the players too, because these lists are ever evolving. Oh, this one was funny though. Adonis Guzman. Actually, I mean, okay, it's not insulting. He is the number 69 prospect. It's just a little all or nothing for me. It's a 3 true outcomes catcher, Adonis Guzman. I mean, good profile, good catching capability. It's not a bad offer. It's actually not a bad offer. So like I said, they've been coming with these offers. They want our boy Conrad Kaysen. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure on it. I do like this profile here of Sean Gamble. And even the Landon Schaefer one isn't bad. But looking at our boy Kaysen, he's got high work ethic as well. I tell you what, this Gamble situation, I'm looking more at this one with fresh eyes here, and I'm getting a little bit more intrigue. Let me get a little side by side. I find the compare tool super useful. Sometimes you just got to see it, right next to each other, really get an assessment. Got the big contact edge for Sean Gamble at plus 15, plus 10 gap, minus 10 home run, plus 5 I, and plus 15 avoid K. And 5 better on all the base running situations. Defensively, 60 range, that's plus 5 for Gamble, plus 5 error, minus 10 arm, and minus 5 double play, which those matter. But then he gets plus 5 outfield range too, if we're looking at maybe getting him infield, outfield. Shit, y'all, is Gamble better? Oh, I kind of think he is. I mean, don't sleep on 10 home run power. Okay, that is a big difference, and getting into the 60 home run power puts you at another level, right? Now you're like a 30-something home run hitter with some consistency, at least capable of doing that. So that is important. But, I mean, who's to say Gamble won't be able to develop some extra power? Now, you could say to the same extent there, sorry, I had to bite off my cuticle. I know that's disgusting, but at least I didn't eat it like a fucking gross ass. You could say by the same token, Gamble, or you could say by the same token, Kaysen, because he has high work ethic, could definitely develop some of his contact situation, like his plate profile. You could. Boy, I don't know. This one's tough. Do we just stick with the guy we got? Our own draftee? I don't know. I think he might be better. I really do. Oh, man, this is tough. This might be the right offer. I got to be honest, like I said, I kind of dismissed this one at first blush. It came a couple game days ago. Not a couple, actually. It's been a while. I guess this is probably the last day. Actually, oh, no, it has expired. Shit. Bro. Could we even do it now? Okay, we can still do it. Thank God. But do we want to? Can we get anything else? Oh, my God, we can. Oh, y'all. I mean, if we're getting something else, if we're able to get another whole piece, how are we not doing it, right? We can get Clark Elliott, good outfielder. He's 25, he's a AAA guy, kind of a backup dude. Or Jalen Nolan. Okay, so they value Elliott less than Nolan. And that's fine. 25-year-old outfielder who's probably like a fourth outfielder, defender type. I get that. Who's this Jack Frankel? Probably a draft target for us at some point. And the tack-on piece will be pretty big. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're testing our boundaries here. Jackson Chorio's brother. Oh, we can get that. Now, he's 20. He's got a strong defensive profile. Now, he doesn't have much of a hitting profile at all. So that one, a little less intriguing. I might just go for Elliott at that point. Cameron Freeman, can we get him in there? It won't take much more. Just your starting catcher or one of your best pitchers. But I promise it won't take much more. In fairness, I added a supplemental first-round pick with crazy upside and high work ethic, so I can't talk shit on that one and act like they're out of pocket for demanding something substantial. All right, maybe we just don't be a greedy Gus. We can get Elliott and Chorio. Can we get Brian Acuna too? Probably. Oh wait, Sirott is out for 6 months and already flopping. We can get all four of these guys. Just get an infusion of 4 prospect hitters for Quezon and a busted arm. Boy, I'm nervous about doing this and trading a guy that, is such a highly ranked prospect. But like, how does Gamble not move up the prospect list soon? So OSA loves him. And about Quezon, oh, they're nonplussed with Quezon. Oh, they're just not that different than us. Never mind. I guess we only have him as a 55. I'm sure some of y'all are screaming like one way or the other, whether it's like, do it, or don't you dare. I think I'm doing it, y'all, especially getting these tack-on pieces, and all we have to do is throw in Rolando Sirott, who I had mentioned in a previous episode. I believe that I was going to cut him anyway, but we were just going to let him hang out because it doesn't hurt to have him on the roster. I think we're doing this. Like, I know Scott Harris is just kind of like meh on it, but I'm like, Gamble, I think Gamble has a legitimate chance to be declared better than Quezon right now. And then you're throwing in these prospects here. I'm doing it. I did it. Wow. I did not expect to trade our number 1 prospect this offseason. I cannot say that I saw that coming. But we did it. We freaking did it. Jack Kaggs, you got to move up, buddy. You got to start doing something against better competition. Corbin Nickerson, are you going to be a giant flop again? Probably. Maybe we'll give him a little bit more time in rookie. He only had 27 games. He can have some more time there. All right. Wow. So that was unexpected. Now we move him to our top prospects. Obviously, we have to keep Quezon on the top prospects list so that we continue to get emails about him. Chorio was 20, and so was Acuna. Okay, good. Then they can stay down there. I got no problem with that. There's Gamble. Where did they put those two? They put them in the Dominican League? Okay, the best way to find them, I think, is just click on their name through here. DSL2 for Acuna. Honestly, I don't hate that. He might. He's not super happy about it. Maybe I shouldn't do that then. Yeah, because he's kind of way better than that league. Not good enough for high A. Borderline an A ball. Like, I don't love all the red here, but the plate skills are ready for A ball. He's got to go to A. Consider leaving him down there because they could use some bodies in the DSL leagues, but I don't want to stunt somebody's growth just to fill in some players, you know? And then Choreo got put in the DSL2 as well. He's got 55 avoid K, 35 I for A ball right now with 50 contact. So we're going to put him there. And he's in a good mood about it. Now we go to A ball. And we got too many players. This guy's 25. I don't think we need to keep Seth Stevenson around anymore. G. Allen. Get a real first name. That's what the G stands for. He cut. All right, 18. That's workable. It's amazing what just cutting a couple like that can do. Oh, Parker Pico not starting. Remember when we took him in the second? He had some promise. Hasn't really come together. That happens, obviously. You know, it's been 3 years in rookie. Maybe I didn't get him out of there quick enough. I mean, he's only 20 though. So I don't know. I could still stand to get a lot better at developing prospects. That is for sure. I don't think I'm going to put Acuna on our top prospects list or Choreo. We'll see where they go, and we'll consider getting them on there. But for now, pretty happy about that deal, y'all. Now, the beauty of that is that it's intra-division. So they're going to battle each other. You know, if Kason and Gamble both pop off, then they'll be battling. Hopefully, you know, if they stay with the org and everything. But how cool would that be? We still got Shigoya at 27. I wonder where our system was ranked when we had Kason at 25 and Shigoya at 27. That was probably pretty nice. We got 3 top 100s right now, 2 top 200s, or 2 additional top 200s. So that's not bad. All right. Well, it is the international. I guess we can take a look here at a few names and kind of get it going, because we're not going to dive into it. We're already almost at an hour here. We'll cut it. We'll put that as part of the next episode. But let's go at least take a quick look. All right, we got the 2 110s. We got Luis Campos, huge catcher, 75 power, 75 contact. Juan Salazar. Soda Salazar, his nickname is Soda. I love that. He's first base only. If we get a guy like this, if we end up like landing on him, it'll be to trade him. He already wants quite a bit more than Campos out of the gate. So he's probably going to go to the max, and we're not going to pay the max for a first base only guy. Just no way. Campos, meanwhile, I could see going for. Oh, another catcher, but he can't really catch or take a walk. He's power and contact with, but it's so all or nothing that I can't trust it. And then Juan Carranza. Vlastimir is his nickname. Switch hitter. Great batting profile. 60 range to build into. I like all that. I like all that. Now, he's already at 3.2 as well, so he's another go-all-in type of guy. Jesus Villegas, though, is coming in real cheap to start at least. $900,000. He's a 60 range, 60 arm, solid bat. Really like him. Who was the one that nobody was interested in? That's Luis Morales. And he wants 230. I think we definitely try to secure him early and be like, hey, we're super interested. Just take our money and be with us. Let's go 250 off the top here. Try to just get him and say, hey, we got you, man. We're the only ones who care about you. And then we just yoink him. Everyone else, the league is intrigued by, obviously. So no sneak attacks, getting anybody on the cheap there. But plenty of other good guys. As far as the pitchers go, there are some top-end ones. Jorge Morera is a beast. Already has 40 fastball and cutter. Does need the curveball to develop. It is 2 fastballs and a curve, which their arsenal type isn't always a huge factor. Like if they don't have, this is basically 2 fastballs and a curve, like I said. Yeah, you want to change up. You want a deeper arsenal for sure, But it doesn't mean they can't succeed if they have a 3-pitch arsenal that's kind of weird, like fastball, cutter, curve. Especially if they get 70 movement and 70 control. It doesn't matter what the hell you throw. Ignacio Cedillo, 4-pitch arsenal, high adaptability and work ethic, great pitching profile, just turned 17. Now, these both are coming in at 3.4 mil off the top. So they're going to be big. Luis Dorado, oh, he looks great. Low financial ambition, 850,000. Yo, the pitching market is where the bargains are, y'all. I'm gonna go a mil off top. Just try to secure him. It might be overzealous to do it, but I think it's worth it. Try to keep him from getting into a bidding war. There's 2 more Luises here too. That's the popular name for the pitchers. Luis Morales, who I already went after, and Cadena. There's no tilde over it, but I don't think that matters because I don't think they actually have him in the game. So I think it is Cadena. But he's a 2-pitch guy. He's a reliever, so we're not that interested. All right, so I'll get into that. I'll see if anything else materializes in the offseason. I've already looked at these guys. Nothing really jumping out here. But maybe if a trade comes along. Other than that, we will be at spring training. And, we will be there regardless. And then I'll give a review of the international amateurs, figure out if we do any other moves. We'll go through spring, and we'll get the 2026 season started, y'all. But I'm very eager to see what y'all think about our offseason. It wasn't huge on the field, but it was colossal off the field. Do you like the personnel moves? Do you like the small moves that we did make with the trades and the O'Neal Cruz signing? Let me know what you think. Hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.